khata bolte the, wherein we used to write. So I used to watch when I cleared my CA. I used to watch my father doing all this bhahi khata, debit, credit. So they used to divide the paper, and their debit and credit were they used to follow in general, and we followed debits and credit differently. So here, let's just I'm just briefing you a small means a government's governance structure. What is the governance structure and how the government operates? I think I'm audible to everyone. Yes, I'm audible now. Audible. Yeah. Okay. Screen is not visible. Some few people said it is screen not visible. Okay. Just share the screen again. Okay. Now is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay. So some few people are saying it is visible, so few people are not, means it is not visible. Please kindly help me, the coordinators, because from my end I have started sharing. It is showing that
Yes,
I am
it's
sharing.
visible, ma'am.
It's visible now. Sure na everyone? Because without PPT, this topic is, you can say, heavy topic, wherein theory part is more or less, I cannot show you anything practical. Just apart from some government, I can say I can show you the documents. So the screen is most important here. It is visible to everyone. Yes.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. Previously, it was not visible, but now it is visible.
Okay, perfect. So here, let us now discuss about the governance structure. So here we have central government and then state government, and we have divided, this is divided again into blocks, municipal corporation, municipalities, town councils. So as per 73rd and 74th Constitution Amendment Act, now these municipality, municipal council and panchayati raj system, three tri structure were made, and they were given autonomy to look after their Zilla Parishad and their small towns. So that was the amendment. It was the amendment was done to give autonomy to each and every governance structure, and they can take their own, you can say, look after their own locality, and your panchayati raj system was given the autonomy. Now, what happens? Let us first know what is the difference between public sector and the government sector. So public sector, these are not privately owned, and these are established and financed by the government. So they are under government. So government, we can say means government is the main supreme thing. So it is public, it is collection of public institutions. So all the public sectors, if we collectively, we can say ki when they form a government, a system of governance that includes the body of individual, and they administer the laws of the nation. So we can say public sector are under government, means the government looks after the public sector. Next. So right now we are actually into the public accounting and the government accounting. So I know that y'all are very learned person. Y'all means everyone knows doing accounting. So accounting, all of us, we have known from the beginning only it is a language of the business. But accounting comes from the word accountability. So if you are going to be rich, you need to be accountable for your money. So here what we mean to say is that accounting, since it is the language of the business, we need to be accountable. So government is accountable to us. So the main objective of the government accounting is it should be transparent and they are accountable to the nation. So let us know a small history of accounting, how it was evolved. So it has evolved before BC, means you can say before Christ, we used to say. So 8,000 to 5,000 BC, there's earliest evidence that their Mesopotamian civilization maybe we used to follow accounting. And before 2000 BC also, bookkeepers, they used to do barter system. So there was accounting, some sort of accounting records and accounting they used to do to keep the records of all their financial transactions. And then what happens after means 80 means you can say 1400 say the main bookkeeping started, and it is actually single entry bookkeeping. It started with this. But actually in 1494 the Italian Luca Pacioli, he publishes the framework of modern accounting, in which we are following, means we all follow that accounting only. And 1887 May, again the American Association of Public Accountants was established, and in this manner the accounting evolved. So accounting evolved. The US begins charging tax in 1913, and then they needed these accounting records which should be kept, how tax is being collected and how it is being spent. So from that year, means the government accounting, it was the need for that, it started. In 1952 IBM, it released a computer, so it made the work easier. So in 1949, what happened? ICA was given the separate identity, and then the main general accepted accounting principle, accounting standards, with the help of CA's ICAI, these were evolved, and we started following a consistent system of accounting. So now let us know how the government accounting system in India, how it evolved. So it actually evolved, say you can say Government of India 1858, say when British Parliament was there, and they started imperial income and expenditure. So they used to draw a small income, and by the way of annual budget, they used to lay down this all accounting forms, everything. It was evolved from the British Empire only. So earlier they had appointed Auditor General of India because they used to get all the accounting records audited. But actually in 1862, the financial secretary who became the head of financial department, he felt the need, no, there should be both auditor and accountant general of India. So from that year, actually, it started ki we are having now the Comptroller Auditor General of India. So from 1866, actually, a uniform financial year was followed, that is 1st April to 31st March. Though we are allowed to follow calendar year, but since taxation rule follows April to March, so it is better, always convenient to follow this accounting year, that is 1st April to 31st March of the next year should be followed. Now here in 1984 only the Financial Accounting Standard Board was created, because in order to maintain consistency and so that we can compare with the peer groups, all these means it necessitated the need of a standard should be evolved. So this Financial Accounting Standard Board, they look after the Government Accounting Standard Board is now responsible for establishing the accounting standard for public sector accounting. So all these are managed through this Governmental Accounting Standard Board, and they come out with different notifications, and the main objective now is to transit. So the basic objective is, they are in the process of conversion of cash basis of accounting into accrual basis of accounting. So I just want, since my accounting thesis, or you can say my PhD thesis, was on urban local bodies, so I thought I will just discuss about my experience, what I experienced while writing the thesis on the accounting system. So my thesis was actually on accounting system of urban local bodies. So I had selected few municipal councils of Raigad district of Maharashtra, and I had surveyed. So because what happens, it's very difficult to get. So let me just give you a brief of when we do research, primary data and secondary data. So very difficult to get secondary data from the councils. So I did a survey and I visited all these municipal councils, and I came to know a lot of challenges they are facing, means all these small councils and municipalities, what challenges they are facing. So even though there are a lot of accounting reforms has been there in the urban local bodies because of 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. So a lot of accounting reforms were actually there, like 2000 law came, then NAMAM came, 2004, and this NAMAM actually, it it actually depicted what should be the structure of the accounts, what should be the major heads, minor heads of account, under which they need to categorize all their income, expenditure, everything. So this is the full structure of account. Still we are following NAMAM only, and each and every state, they have evolved their own actually municipal accounting code, but on the basis of NAMAM only. So Maharashtra Municipal Accounting Code is there, which was evolved on 2008. We still follow that. Now, why it is being followed? Why all these accounting codes and accounting manuals, accounting reforms followed? Because of the Right to Information Act, which came in 2005. So as per this, each and every citizen of India, we have the right to know what is happening to other tax, whatever we are paying tax to the government. So what is the government doing with our tax money? And we have full right to know. So right to information means the government accounting should be transparent. It should be readily available to the citizen of India whenever we require to find out that. So all these public disclosure law also came. So all these actually are into this key. The government has a fiscal accountability. Means apart from the accounting accountability, they have an additional responsibility of fiscal or accountability. That means they need to serve the nation and need to be very transparent in all their activities. So what challenges they were facing, I just categorized under different categories. So I will just discuss about this. I hope all are comfortable if I'm discussing this also. Okay, this is a part of government accounting only. Urban local body is a part of governance structure. So is it fine now? I discuss the challenges which they were facing. These are all what I saw, what I visualized. Yes. So quickly, I just want some responses also. You can be verbal also. So anyone can unmute themselves and then they can answer. Shall I discuss this also? Yes.
Yes, madam. It is quite
yes,
okay.
Ma'am, it's fine.
So, yes, so what challenges they were facing in some municipal councils? They were actually accounting department only. So what happens for the convenience? They used to do what? Someone go and bring that register. So they follow one register under which they record the receipts and the payment. So only the cash receipts, cash payments they record in that register. So according to them, it's not necessary that you have to be highly qualified to record in that register. Anyone can record in that register. And ultimately we'll find out what is the cash balance remaining in the hand of the municipal council. So that was a major flow, you can say lags in the municipal council, because there was not a separate accounting department was there. Even though if in some municipal councils there were some accountant, so that accountant was sometimes not BCom graduate. So even after doing the engineering, they used to come and join, and they were guided. They were trained. This is the accounting system, and you have to record in this manner. So they were happy doing that. So what happened? They were not able to connect the accounting, you can say, standards with the you can say the structure of the accounts. So accounting department and staff, it's very much necessary for any organization, and especially they should have exposure of the accounting standard. They should have, it's not necessary they should be from the commerce background only. Even if they are from different, you can say, accounting background, the generally accepted accounting principles, all these should be there. They should be aware of this. So this was a major, you can say, lacuna in the urban local bodies which they were facing. Again, the infrastructural facilities. So the infrastructural facilities was that like I said, there was a very small room, only sometimes 2 or 3 person handling everything, the administrative work they were handling. So what was happening? Sometimes electricity was not there. So in the very small municipal council, proper electricity facility was not there. So every time their computer, they were not able to access to their annual financial statement. Why? Because they mentioned hamare books jal gaye hain. So that is why we are not able to submit that. So books jal gaye, but if the computer is there, backup plan is there, they can easily submit. So that that area must looked into ki, okay, proper infrastructural facilities should be made for the urban local bodies, and the accounting records, they should be properly maintained for at least few years, so that one citizen of India, so you can visit the government site and you can see lots of municipal councils, their financial statements are not being uploaded only, so you cannot get a clear idea what they are doing, how they are performing. Accounting system, you, like I said, they are following cash basis of accounting. So cash basis of accounting means only the receipts and the payment they are recording. So there is no proper system of receivables. So if someone is liable, so there are lots and lots of means they are raising the bill, then they have to pay to the contractors again. The outstanding dues are not actually properly maintained. So what happens? The contractors, they sometimes feel, okay, they are not paying properly. They feel agitated, even though the local bodies and these means all small year they get the funds and the grants, and these grants are lying idle in the bank. So what is happening? If the grants are lying idle in the bank, they are, what is happening? They are not utilizing that funds and the grants also. So now if they are not utilizing that fund, that means they are not able to deliver the services to the nation, to the citizen of India. So that is why we feel ki what government is doing. So it is not like that. So the lot of miscommunication gaps are there from the government to the citizen of India, the channels, there are lots of gaps which needs to be filled. A proper system of accounting should be there, so that the inflow local bodies and the outflow of the local bodies should be maintained. So yes, so what happens? Asset. So again, let's come back to accounting system only. So this was related to inflows and outflows. Again, what happens? There was not a proper system of recording asset. So asset, a lot of people. So now they have started with the e-governance. Now they have started recording the ownership or the land owned by the people. But what happens? The register, whenever they are maintaining, it's very difficult to connect the actual owner with the land. So what is happening? People sometimes the person who used to own the land is no more, and someone else is owning. So the ownership is not being transferred. So in this manner, what happens? Lots and lots of lacuna. Again, cash book and bank book, they were not regularly reconciled. So if they are not regularly reconciled, a lot of suspense accounts were maintained by them. Okay, reconcile your bank ka balance, cash ka balance, they are not reconciling. So it was very difficult, are outsourced. So either the local CAs, they come and they draft the financial statement, or any local accountant, they make it and they submit it to the DMA office. So what happens? The financial statement and other relevant reports, we cannot say the authenticity of the financial statement again becomes doubtful. Why it becomes doubtful? Because uh, someone is saying, speaking. Yes, someone wants to say something. Yes, someone wants to say something. Yes, shall I continue? Shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what happens? Financial statement and the other relevant reports. Again, a lot of work needs to be done, because the first, you can say, the inception, the first books of record, journal, ledger, all these needs to be checked first, properly audited, and then they should be, of course, uploaded. Of course, in coming from these urban local bodies and the councils, they need to be checked first, and then only it should be uploaded. The internal control system. Now what happens? If they are recording, so they have a customized system of accounting software, wherein the accounting staffs are trained कि आपको ऐसे ऐसे record करना है, and they record everything according to that only. But there is no proper internal control. So that should be, so what happens, a proper password should be followed, and it should not be accessible to everyone. So all these challenges the urban local bodies were facing, and they were actually, so here, uh, after all, so from the council, local bodies, municipality, all these, and then it comes to the treasuries, then we can come to the state, generally definitely improve, and all the citizen of India will be very happy because they can get a transparent, updated, on time the financial reports of all these governance which are there in India. So here it is a suggestion ki they should of course evolve, or they could develop an accounting, proper accounting department with a person from a commerce background or having a knowledge of the accounting standards, because our institute is really doing great efforts. So these are the accounting standards which our institute has actually means helped to draft. So I was present in meeting, and I was also there how much effort they had taken to just draft this accounting standard of local bodies. So you can see there were only few accounting standard of local bodies initially, but now we have till 42 accounting standard of local bodies. And if all these are followed properly, I can say that ki a day will come when all the local bodies are self-sufficient, and they will definitely show a very quick, means you can say very good performance. The economic growth of a nation really depends on the local bodies, of course, because our most of the population live in the rural areas, and the rural development is the main focus of our government. So here the main focus should be how we can we improvise the rural areas, and automatically our urban the basis of IPSAs. So we are going to cover that IPSAs also, what are IPSAs and how they were evolved. So Government Accounting Standard of Board, they have come out with this public sector accounting standards. So IPSAs are there, and on the basis of that, the environment of India, the ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, have drafted the accounting standard of local bodies. Given the economical condition, the financial framework of India, they have drafted local bodies. So now let's go back to our original topic, which was government accounting. So government accounting under section 40, again same government accounting is done. We have to record, classify, summarize, interpret all these financial transaction as per government accounting. But this is more, because why? Because in case of private organization, we are recording only the financial transaction related to that organization. But in case of government, they are responsible for the taxpayers. They are responsible to the taxpayers, their money, and they need to do a proper analysis, control of the expenditure to perform in, because they are answerable to the nation. They are answerable to us. So that is why they have more responsibility. The government accounting, you can say, it is more vast as compared to the private organization. So what is the objective of government accounting? So basic objective we can say ki the revenue getting, it needs to be spent wisely. They can get revenue through tax, non-tax revenues are also there. They get loans also, deposits also they get. So here how much they are, how they are spending wisely these all income, and what is the cash available with the government, how we can plan. So every year the budget is prepared, allocate resources efficiently and equitably to all the sectors, ministers, departments, projects, programs, in order to maintain a sustainable financial position. So in order to maintain a sustainable financial position, the government needs to act very wisely and make the decision very wisely. So what happens? So what is the purpose of government accounting? The main purpose is demonstration. Now how they demonstrate? They have this, so they need to do what? All the transactions are done as per the laws, rules and regulation. They cannot deviate the current rules and regulations. So they have also their accounting, the effectiveness of the ministers. So ministers, the departments, the different responsibilities which were allocated to different ministers, in this manner they can appraise it. So the purpose of government accounting is that ki how well they are performing and how well they can just depict to the whole nation ki we have performed this much. So basically, we have already covered that key. What is the difference between government accounting and commercial accounting? Of course, government means all the financial activities of the government. Government accounting, they do not follow any generally accepted accounting principle, but commercial accounting, they follow gaps. They have single entry system, government accounting, but private accounting, it is compulsory to follow double entry accounting system, and all the financial reports are prepared accounting system. Double entry accrual based system, we can call that. So here we can see that users, who are the users of government information. So media, of course, they need to tell to the whole world that the government is doing this, government is doing this. All the reforms, accounting reforms, you can get the information readily from the media, from the newspaper. Economic planners, they need to know what the government is planning, so that on the basis of the economic environment, what are the plans of the government, so that they can just brief to the nation okay, this is going to happen. And most of our capital market, you can say, they depend on this, you can say, what is the prediction of the economic planners. And according to that, so one of the parameter of, you can say, the capital market goes on through this, the prediction of the economic planners. The government, of course, needs to know so these are different stakeholders of the government, and the government is, so these are few of the stakeholders, we can say, a few of the stakeholders to whom the government is answerable. And first and foremost, the government is answerable to the taxpayers, who are paying their hard-code earned money to the government, and the taxpayers have full right to ask from the government how their money is being spent. Comptroller Auditor General of India, they are actually preparing the financial reports and presenting to the president in front of the parliament. So of course, they need to know what the government accounting, so they need to have the correct government accounting. The World Bank, IMF, foreign governments, they all regulatory bodies, they they are the stakeholders to whom the government is responsible. From the very beginning, I'm telling that key accountability and transparency. So in private organization, we can go with the word accountability. We need to be accountable to the stakeholders. But in case of government accounting, the key mantra is accountability plus transparency. So transparency is the most important criteria. If the government accounting is transparent to the citizen of India, believe me, it adds credibility to the government reports, and it means the government, the people gains confidence on the government. So here, what is the financial position? Monitor income expenditure. So here, these process should be followed in order to give a correct financial position or transparent financial report to the citizen of India. So every time the income and expenditure should be monitored against budget, so that it brings transparency in the internal system, and the financial irregularities, mismanagement, fraud should be detected at the beginning only. It should not be promoted rather. So lots and lots of government has taken an effort to curb this like done. So in this manner, what happens earlier, there were lots and lots of scrupulous people who were they were not honest people. They were doing lot of frauds. So now this has been curbed because of the efforts of the government. Everything is going digitalized. E-governance is being followed now. Appropriate reports should be there in the portal. Still, we can, if we visit the sites of the government, there are many cities which are not uploading their financial reports timely on the portal. So again, what happens if you do not get the timely financial reports? You tend to lose confidence ki yaar kuch to gadbad hai, why they are not submitting it. I think it should become mandatory ki every year, like we have to submit to ROC every year the audited financial statement. It should become mandatory for the nation, for the different cities, the urban local bodies councils to submit it on time, and they should follow the deadline. So they need to have all the documentary proof of receipts and payments. Otherwise, it's become very difficult to audit what happens. Now, this is very interesting how government accounting system was evolved. So earlier, it was government accounting system wherein it was only budget oriented. So they used to make a budget and they used to record only the receipts and payment in that. No scene, they never looked after the asset or the accruals or the outstanding. That was cameral government accounting system. Little reformed Skinner accounting system, we can say ki that also followed the same cash basis of accounting only. But what happened, they used to open that accounting records beyond certain period of accounting, so accounting period. So they used to record few of balance sheet receipts and off balance sheet payments in their financial reports, but again it was cash basis of accounting. So this was a traditional government accounting, a record of assets. So now they started looking after the asset, the outstanding dues, the payments and the receipts also, they started considering that. So this was a transition to accrual based system of accounting. And logismography accounting system, you can say it is an addition. And here what happens, they used to record the government accounts was divided into two. That means one owned by government and the other who are acting on behalf of the government. So service providers. So they, in this system of accounting, it was a provision to calculate the cost of services which the government is providing. So this was more reformed and more, you can say, modernized system of accounting. We have not reached to this level till now. So these are different government accounting system evolved throughout the world, which of course we are also trying to follow that. So now Indian government accounting system, UK government accounting standards. So it is majorly, you can say, follow cash basis of accounting. There is one government accounting standard advisory board, which is constituted by CAG, Controller and Auditor General of India, and it is supported by Government of India. So of course, this Indian government accounting standards, it is in the stage, in the verge of migrating to accrual basis of means, you can say, accounting. And international, so I was talking about IPSAS. These are international public sector accounting standards, which are being formulated by International Public Sector Accounting Standard Board. Now, why they have followed? Because what happens sometimes when you want to compare the peer groups, you want to compare, okay, this government is performing well, US government is performing well as compared to UK. If you want to compare that, of course, you need one common platform wherein they can be compared. So this was evolved just because we wanted to follow a consistent system of accounting, and that is why on the basis of international accounting standard, we evolved IND AS. So that is why on the basis of IPSAS, we are evolving different Indian government accounting standards, which we need to follow. So now we have not evolved so many, you can say, government accounting standard as compared to accounting standard of local bodies. But of course, very soon you will see there will be a lot of changes in Indian government accounting standard also. Now, I know ki all of you know this, what are the drawbacks of cash-based accounting system. But still, since we are following cash-based accounting system, let us know what problems we face. That means the dues are not properly reflected. So obviously, there will be a deferment on their payment. We are not able to get the correct, accurate amount of receivables. So again, we may lose it, or we may get, say, after a long period of time. There is all these affects budget. There is a failure in the completion of the project because the contractors, they are not timely paid. Pension to the ex-employees are not paid because there is a not proper record of all this, and non-availability of real-time information of inflows and outflows. So all these are the major drawbacks. So what accrual based double entry accounting system, if it is followed, how it will help? So it will help in measurement of quasi debt liabilities. What is quasi debt liabilities? That means apart from creditors, you will get the information of the pensions, because major chunk of, you can say, expenditure also goes in paying the pension. So then defense, all these are the areas wherein the government is spending. So all these information needs to get. So what will happen if we follow accrual based double entry accounting system? We'll be able to pay timely all the dues. All the cost of projects will be calculated properly and it will help in the financing decision. So we can prepare a proper budget. Okay, this will be my budget. So if I want to go for Atmanirbhar or PLI scheme, this is the amount we actually require. What will happen? It will help us to properly identify and value the assets and liability, prepare a proper register, proper planning, cost of holding and deployment of assets can be calculated, a budget can be prepared, fiscal policies and sustainabilities, and of course, it will help us to assess ultimately the efficiency of the government. Now, deficit fund, it was not delivered. Why there is a deficit of fund? If we make a proper planning beforehand, a proper budget is prepared, there will never be a deficit of funding. So these are the different Indian government accounting standard formulated by our, you can say, board, accounting standard board. And this is again, this standard is actually prepared to make the existing cash system of accounting more transparent. So this is an effort to make the cash basis system of accounting more transparent. But later on we will see ki, okay, now they are migrating to accrual base. So guarantees given by government, these are different Indian government accounting standards which are mainly for the government accounting standards. So accounting and classification of grants in aid, loans, and so these are the list which are being there to make the cash basis system of accounting more transparent. So this is the site name, gasab.gov.in. You can visit this site and you can find out all these accounting standard and the details which are given in this accounting standard. Now we, in order to follow the IFRS, like I told you, IPSAS, in order to find out the international accounting standard and financial reporting system, the government has evolved Indian government financial reporting standards. So IGFRS has been approved by our accounting standard reporting system. We are trying to evolve. So presentation, how it should be presented, property, plant and equipment, revenue, inventories, contingent liability. So there was no provision of showing contingent liability, because of which the nation faced a lot of deficit of funds. So this so we are now migrating to accrual based system of accounting, and through this accounting standard, of course, it will be a consistent, a proper financial statement of government which can be compared with other government, and in this manner we can assess the efficiency and effectiveness of the government. Now, what are the regulations governing government accounting? These are different regulations which govern whenever there is a government accounting. So departmentalization of union acts. This is the oldest one, wherein there was an internal transfer of, say, department to another. Sometimes it is transferred to minister just to compile the accounts and give a better presentation. Right now, we are following Government Accounting Rules 1990, which is based on cash basis of accounting. So let me show you one format of this government accounting rules. I will just again, I just don't know whether it will be visible. This government accounting rule is visible. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this government accounting rules, you can see this is total government accounting rules drafted by the government. If you want, I can share this also. So this was taken from this to show you how the government accounting, so rules, how they divide the total financial, the reports, how they are going to divide. They divide it into three parts. First is consolidated fund, then contingency fund, and then public account. So consolidated fund may, you will see that all the receipts and payments are recorded here only. So all the consolidated fund records everything, the revenue from the tax, non-tax revenue. So now it is 500 crores the amount is kept aside. But now we are proposing, the government is proposing to increase it to 30,000 crores. So sometimes what happened, our nation is prone to after this. So last time pandemic ke karan we have come out ki no, there should be more amount allocated specifically to meet the unforeseen contingency. Public account is like provident funds or small savings which the people make in PF, PPF, all these are kept under this public account, and suspense remittances, all these are kept here. You don't have to take special permission for spending this fund. So this is like financial statement. So I had downloaded this financial statement of the government for 23-24 and this is of Maharashtra. So Maharashtra का मुझे updated मिला, 2-3 cities के 23-24 के नहीं थे. So that is why I thought I'll download it. So this, you can see this is statement 1, consolidated fund of India revenue accounts. First they record the receipts and then they show the disbursements. So you can see this is tax revenues. So tax revenues from GST, from income expenditure, property and capital transactions, all these commodity services. So all these revenue earned from the taxes are recorded here. So here we record all the revenue which are not earned from the taxation. So general service, defense services, all these are recorded, social and community services, economic services. And then we have any grants, if the government has received any grants contribution, all these are the receipts, the sources of fund which they record first under consolidated fund. Then they record the disbursements. Okay, so disbursements are also, it is termed as appropriation account, wherein they disburse the amount, but this is disbursed only by taking permission, otherwise without permission of the parliament they cannot disburse it. So how they disburse, these are the different heads of account under which they have to record ki they have made the payment under say pension or say defense services, social services. These are the amount and these are the actual figures. This is the amount of disbursement. Then we have consolidated fund capital account. So they actually first record the capital account. They follow the same procedure. Okay, if there's an addition to the asset or say there is a renewal of the asset, then they record under capital account receipts. So all public debts, all these recoveries are recorded under capital disbursements. So this document also is readily available. You can visit cag.gov.in. You can get all the means you can say audited. This is audited by Comptroller Auditor General of India. All these statements of account of throughout the whole India, means all the cities, they actually submit their or upload their document here. So here you can see this key. This is your. So I will get extra time na to complete my PPT. Yes, थोड़ा बहुत तो complete करने के लिए मुझे मिल जाएगा ना. Okay, so here government accounting. So what is the process of government accounting? How the government accounting is done? So it starts from the beginning, that is from the fiscal framework. How the government the first sit and they find out, okay, what is the fiscal conditions or the economical conditions prevailing in the nation, and accordingly they decide ki okay, we are going to prepare the budget on this basis. So when they prepare, they also make a strategy ki or there will be a recovery strategy. So this year the government aimed to recover. Their major basic objective was on the recovery side, ki how we can recover from the COVID. So here that is why they came out to PLI scheme. Last 2 years se chala aa raha hai, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and now Vasudevam Kutumbakam, he is trying to, our government of India is trying to say ki no, we should work together and like one family, we should work for our nation. So all these viewpoints, they sit together and they prepare the budget. So after budget preparation, the main work comes the budget execution. So after when the budget is prepared and presented in the month of February, and when it becomes an act, of course, the major work of the government is to execute their budget, so that in the next year, while presenting the budget, they can show what they had done in the last year. So budget execution again evolves, means it requires a lot of planning and lot of, you can say, people, accountant, all these should be there to work on it. And because of this only they can prepare a proper accounting and reporting system. So accounting and proper, if reports are prepared, they can easily present it to the nation ki no, this was done by the government, and this is the, so you can see the performance effectiveness, how the government has performed. But the accounting and reporting is not the end to the government accounting system. Lot of control and audit is required, because if the control is not there, of course, what people not perform again. So what is happening, it should be well audited and so this is the, you can say, chronological manner how the government accounting starts. The accounting starts from the financial fiscal framework, and it continues till control and audit. So this is how, this is a chart you can see through which, so whenever the policy is made, not only the government is sitting, all the professional bodies are sitting, all people from academia, from research, political parties, civil society, all these, they sit together and then they formulate policy. It is not a one man's job to make a policy. They give, so on that basis of research, okay, this was not done in the last year, or this is required to recover, or for the economical growth of the nation, they sit together and they make the policies, formulates policies, and then the budget is formulated, gets approved. It cannot, so there's a procedure to get the budget approval, and it gets executed. As soon as it gets executed, the accounting work starts, and of course the audit, after the audit it gets sent, and again the next year starts. So this is the whole process of, you can say, accounting system. So since I have mentioned lot about Comptroller and Audit General of India, let us know who is. Actually, as per Article 148 of the Constitution, he is appointed by the President of India as a principal accounting advisor. So it is an independent constituent body, a principal accounting advisor. So all the accounting reforms which happens in India, it happens sound management accounting system, because of CAG's as a Comptroller General. He plays very vital role in maintaining the public financial management or the management accounting system of the whole nation. So he is the main person who presents all the audited and the annual accounts to the president. So all the monthly annual accounting reports come to him, MIS reports, annual appropriation accounts, all the policies which are being formulated, they come to him, and then only after audited or vetted by him, it goes to the CAG, it goes, means it gets, means you can say, accepted. He also coordinates, so if there is any, say, corrective action or remedial action which needs to be followed, any grievances are there which you can of course put forward in audit para monitoring system, APM's MS mein jaake web, all these are looked after by CAG only. And he's such a powerful person that his removal can be done only at par, means like the judges of the Supreme Court are removed, same procedure needs to be followed by for CAG removal also. So here he cannot be removed like this by just passing a vote. So special resolutions are required. So that is why you need to have this Comptroller and Auditor General of India is the most important person. Now, these are certain terminologies when you are doing government or when you are coming across government finance, you may come across this term.